Did you know that Jamaica had a tramcar system way back in the early 1800s? Or maybe like most persons you have no idea what a tramcar even is. Let me explain. A tramcar is a rail vehicle that runs on tracks along public urban streets and sometimes also on their separate right of way. The lines or networks operated by tramcars are called tramways. Tramways powered by electricity were the most common type historically and were once called electric street railways. Trams also include horse cars that were widely used in urban areas before electrification. Tram lines may also run between cities and towns and are partially grade separated even in cities. Trams very occasionally also carry freight. Tram vehicles are usually lighter and shorter than conventional trains and rapid transit trains. However, the differences between these modes of public transportation are often indistinct. Some trams may also run on ordinary railway tracks. A tramway may be upgraded to a light rail or rapid transit line, or two urban tramways may be connected to an interurban, etc. Most trams today use electrical power, usually fed by an overhead pantograph, in some cases by a sliding shoe on a third rail or trolley pole. Let me know if you understand all of that. With that out of the way, let's go back in time to 1800s, Kingston, Jamaica. The island of Jamaica is about 82 kilometers wide and 234 kilometers long. Its north coast is about 383 kilometers south of Cuba and 537 kilometers west of Haiti. Jamaica was a British colony from 1655 until 1958. It became a fully independent state in 1962. A steam railroad that opened in 1845 between its capital Kingston and Spanish Town was one of the first railroads in the Americas, preceded only by lines in the United States, Canada, and Cuba. So Jamaica never get the first railway in the world, or in the Western Hemisphere for that matter, and there's a video coming up about that. Kingston's population was approximately at the time 50,000 in the 1900s and about 592,000 today. The Jamaica Streetcar Company inaugurated a horse car system in Kingston on the 13th of November 1876. Trams circled the area and reached Raytown on the east, Maypen Cemetery on the west, and Constant Spring 6 miles north of the city. The vehicles came from John Stevenson Company in New York. No suitable picture of them could be found, but on screen is a JSCC token. That's a Jamaica Streetcar Company token. That's what he used to get on the tramcar. West India Electric Company, registered in Canada, purchased the horse tramway on the 4th of December 1897 and began electrification. WIEC's president was an officer of the Montreal Street Railway Company, which seems to have supplied Kingston's first 30 electric trams. They were similar but not identical to open cars that ran in Montreal in the 1890s. Kingston's first electric line from the tram depot on Orange Street to the foot of King Street was inaugurated on the 31st of March 1899. The image on screen shows a similar view on Orange Street at Victoria Garden, also known as the Parade and today called William Grant Park. Electric trams bore even numbers like 10, 12, 14, etc. Track gauge was 56.5 inches, operation was left-hand and two-way streets. Jubilee Market was opposite the northwest corner of Victoria Garden. Tram routes were identified by colored lights and destination boards on the ends and sides of the roof, as in Montreal. This tram on screen is signed Halfway Tree and Oak Gardens. West Indies Electrical Company's trams did a good business bringing produce from rural areas to the city's markets. Extra cars were placed on the Constant Spring and Oak Gardens lines. Trailer cars bore uneven numbers, 11, 13, etc. In the early years of the 20th century, United Fruit Company ran banana trains over WIEC tracks from Constant Spring to Jubilee Market. The cars were pulled by electric locomotives at first, but later were attached to WIEC trams. On screen is the terminus of the Rockfort Gardens line, and the photographer was facing east, like he might look out towards the cement factory. On screen is Tram 34 at the terminus of the Oak Gardens line at the end of Papine Road. Note the inscription, the West India Electric Company Limited, on the side of the car. Now see if we can zoom in on that. An earthquake in 1907 took 800 lives and damaged large sections of the Kingston Tramway system. 5 cars were destroyed, but partial service resumed within a few days. Luckily, WIEC, that's West Indies Electrical Company, had ordered 6 new trams the previous November from J.G. Brill Company in Philadelphia. Here is a page from that company's monthly publication, Brill's Magazine, Philadelphia, March 1907, from page 91. And that's gonna be on screen, guys. The 1920s brought new prosperity to the city and a new operator to the tramway system. On the 25th of May 1923, the West Indies Electrical Company was absorbed by a new Canadian organization, the Jamaica Public Service Company. That kind of weird, it be a Canadian organization and a name Jamaica Public Service Company. They thereafter provided all electrical utilities on the island. The McGraw Electric Railway Directory of 1924 reported 39 passenger motor cars, 1 motor service car, 1 motor freight car, 6 trailer freight cars, and 2 locomotives operating on a 26.62 miles of track in Kingston. The photograph on screen was taken on King Street in and around 1930. This colorized postcard on screen shows another section of King Street in the 1930s. The World Survey of Foreign Railways, published in 1933, recorded 44 passenger motor cars, 5 passenger trailers, and 2 freight trams running on 43 km of track in Kingston. Apparently, the company acquired many more vehicles after 1907, although no more orders were received by US builders. The photograph on screen was taken in 1939 at the end of the Oak Gardens line. The car is in the same position as Tram 34 in the postcard view before. The busy scene on screen is dated February 1944. The photograph on screen was taken in November 1944. Scene is the terminus of the Constant Spring line, where 40 years earlier, United Fruit Company loaded its banana trains for their journey over tramway tracks to the city. Jamaica Public Service Company closed the Kingston tramway system on the 10th of May 1948. Jamaica Public Service Company then claimed that it could not afford to maintain the right-of-way or construct needed extensions. The entire system, all lines, ran until the end. Company records indicate that because of a public protest, the Rockfort Gardens line continued operation for a few more months until approximately August 1948. An unusual aspect of the Kingston Tramway was that all its passenger cars seemed to have been identical and remained identical and unchanged throughout their lives. They were superbly maintained but were all sold for scrap in 1949. What a shame that one of these magnificent vehicles, 50 years old but as good as new, was not preserved, even on a day like today, which are the independence of Jamaica. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comment section down below. Remember to give the video a thumbs up and support the channel by using the links in the description. Y'all stay blessed.
Jamaica. Don't forget to drop a like and a comment. Don't forget to subscribe.